sisters, welcome back to my channel. Okay, you know I come to you with those relatable topics, so if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, and by the looks of the title, you already know what we're gonna talk about. So let's get right into the video. Okay, girls, or should I say sisters, as I normally say, welcome to my channel. I thank you guys so much for supporting me, coming on this journey with me, okay? And I was just thinking, right? Because you know I'm always thinking. It's so hard for us women to put ourselves out there an aspect of dating, and it's just like, you know, we're technically damned if we do, damned if we don't, because if you put yourself out there, so to speak, and you try and fail to try, it's almost as if you're labeled as quote unquote a hoe. And it's just like, well, how am I supposed to find so-called Mr. Right if I don't try to date? If I don't try to meet somebody and potentially, you know, see where it can go. And it's just like, stuff like that makes it hard for us, right, sisters? It makes it so hard because no woman wants to be seen as something so derogatory as a hoe, as they say it, okay? And we all have our way of doing things or going about dating, but it's just a simple matter of we want love, right? We want to find our Mr. Right. And they say sit around and have faith. I mean, if you are a believer, they tell you to have faith and wait for him to come. Mr. Right will find you and sweep you off your feet. But we're just like, oh no, like we don't got time for that. We want him now. We want Mr. Right now, right, sisters? We can't wait. Like, and oftentimes it's just such, like, to me, in my opinion, it's such a bribe in a sense where it's like, oh yeah, you're gonna sit around and wait for him to find you. Well, how is he gonna find you if you don't make yourself available to be found, so to speak? So it's just one of those things, and I just thought that we should talk about it. You know, like, how are you gonna find the right one? And it's just like dating as a whole is just like, it's a headache, right? It's like an unnecessary headache because, especially if you're a single mom, okay? If you're a single mom, it's just like, all right, you want to find the right person that will love you and your kids. You know, you want to find somebody that will step up to the plate and love your children and be there for your children the same way you would. But it's just like, there's stereotypes that, oh, no man is gonna want a woman with kids from a previous situation. So in essence, it's almost like you feel defeated already just by being a single mom, because you're told that, oh, men don't want that extra responsibility, and they consider you expensive right off the bat because you have children, so they feel like they're obligated to help you with your children, or, you know, in that manner. And it's just very like, it's like points knocked off if you're a woman that's a single mom and you're dating and you're out in the dating scene. It's just like, once these guys hear that you're a mom, it's like you know, you get points knocked off, or they put you on the back corner like, oh yeah, I'll call her next month or next year, or probably just delete her number. You know what I'm saying, sis? It's just like one of those things where it's like, you know, well, yeah, being a single mom is hard. And why should you not be able to find love because you're a mom? It's just like, come on, it's so unfair. It's a pain in the neck, really. When you really think about the double standards of dating and the stereotypes that us women face, it's just like, you know, our back is always against the wall, period. Just always. No matter what we do, our back is against the wall. Even if we try to accommodate for being a single independent lady looking for love, or a single mom looking for love, it's like vice versa. There's always an issue when it pertains to these men. It's kind of sad though, because yeah, it goes back to what I said, is a double standard. Because okay, how is it that we are not allowed to have expectations or standards when we meet a guy when he first enters our life? We don't have that right? They tell us that we're doing too much, or, you know, we come off too needy right off the bat, or, you know, random stuff like that. All right. So how is it that we can't meet someone and lay down our expectations or our standards, but they can? Like, men can meet us and expect us to just meet their every need right off the bat. Like, I just find it to be so hypocritical in a manner where, like, they just want us to step up to the plate as soon as they meet us. Like, literally. Like, sis, have you ever thought about it? Like, you'll have a guy that you just started talking to for, say, 2, 3, 6 months, and right off the bat, he expects you to start showing him standards in a manner where he could take you seriously. Like, if you step up to the plate and start cooking for him, or doing laundry for him, or spending more time with him, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, yeah, maybe I'll entertain her a little bit. It still doesn't mean he'll commit, though, right? But then on the flip side, if we meet them and say, hey, like, you need to pay a bill or two, we're a gold digger, and they're uninterested. Or if we say, hey, like, you need to make more time for me, oh, we're desperate. If we say, hey, like, you know, this, that, and the third, or, no, let me come up with a better example. Or if we say, like, you know, you don't do nothing romantic, like, you don't buy me nothing, you're not spontaneous, oh, we asking for too much. It's like, you know, and you're just getting to know this person, you're still in the dating phase, you know, that's when things should be very ignited between the two of you, so you could see if the connection is strong or not. And oftentimes they just, like, turn away from our expectations or our standards and come up with all types of excuses, but we're supposed to uphold their standards and expectations right off the bat. It's just like, you know, a cliche, a double standard, and it sucks. Like, another thing, how is it that men could have options while dating, right, as a so-called single guy, but we can't have options as a single woman dating? If we have options, you know, we're the whole word, okay? If we have options where everything negative up under the sun, okay? And if we are seen with a different guy every other year or so, even though it's a year, technically that's fair enough time, we're still stereotypes, because it almost seems like we're switching men as we switch our underwear. And it's like, no, that's not the reality of it. But, you know, just because you're dating someone doesn't mean you're sleeping with them. And people often just trigger women in that way. Is trigger the right word? I would say blackmail us in that way, where it's just like, okay, if we find the courage to just keep dating and keep trying, it means that every guy we talk to, we slept with them. No, absolutely not. And it's just like, well, how the heck are we ever gonna be happy if we don't try? And we have to constantly deal with those type of stereotypes. Another thing that I say is a double standard is like, yeah, back to our single moms. If we date and we find a potential stepdad, someone we think that will go well with our family and our children and starting a life with this person, and then boom, everything with that individual falls apart and you go your separate ways. You're told that, oh, you don't care about your kids because you had a guy in their life and they got attached to the guy and now the guy is gone, so you don't care about your kids. But it's like, how could you say that? We definitely care about our kids. That's why we sit here and go through all the trouble of trying to find the right guy, so to speak, the guy that's gonna actually commit and stand up to his responsibility and love us the right way and love our children the right way. Of course we care about our children. We don't date because solely of our own selfish needs. I mean, come on, there's college tuition to be paid in the future if you want to get technical, okay? There's all kinds of things. A house needs to be bought, okay? A whole bunch of things need to be set in order for children in the future. And let's keep it real. The world that we live in today, it can be done alone as a single mom, but it's not easy. It's not easy. And oftentimes, marriage is a way out for a single mom. So you can't knock no single mom for trying to find the right guy that will mesh with her and her children well and make life complete. Like, what is up with the double standard? I'm pretty sure that men do the same thing. They just oftentimes shy away from the commitment and the marriage. I'm pretty sure that they meet us women for their own selfish needs and wants just the same. It's just that they're more particular in playing so-called games and getting away with murder, like they often do, okay? And they don't get caught up in the whole ideal of marriage and stuff like that. But they date the same way we do. They go after what they want and need the same way we do as women. And I just think it's just crap. The double standards that we have to live up to, the stereotypes that we women have to live up to, sis, it's just like, where did these things come from? Because it is so unfair and not right. What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to just give up hope and stop believing that we'll find Mr. Right? Are we supposed to just sit around and twiddle our thumbs until gray hair starts to cover our heads and our honey pots, like things start to get dried up down there? Like, what are we supposed to do, sis? I want to know the same thing, because as a single mom, it's rough out here, okay? Yes, we get the job done, but it's definitely rough dating because it's a lot of stereotypes. And I know for me, I'll speak for myself. I don't want to be one of those moms where my children grow up to know me having a different guy every phase of their life, because it definitely can traumatize them in a mental manner. And I am not about that life, okay? I know there's a lot of other moms out there that can testify or agree to what I'm saying. And another thing is, putting out energy and effort into meeting somebody new every single time is draining. It is so draining. It's like repeating the same pattern over and over. Who got time for that? When we rather be chasing a bag, okay? It's just like, all right, to hell with all these stereotypes. I'd rather be by myself and be Miss Independent. Although we get so torn apart and shredded to pieces for being an independent woman, because according to these men, we make them feel insecure, and we make them feel less than a man, and we don't allow them to be men in our lives, and blah 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 blah. The the foolishness, because as I said before, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because even if you are a woman that can hold your own and you happen to find a guy that you really like, it's just like he has to complain about you holding it down on your own. And then if you are not a woman that struggles a little bit holding it down, but you hold it down and you expect him to help you hold it down, they complain as well. So it's just like, what we supposed to do, sis? Like, how we gonna find the Mr. Right? Like, I don't get it. 2020, it seems like 2020 is all about entanglements, and and we don't got time, okay? We really don't got time. So I'm with you guys out there. That's just like, okay, this dating thing is out of hand. It's way out of hand, okay? We just can't win. Like, what are we gonna do? You know what, sis? I'ma tell you what to do, okay? Don't worry about what people gotta say. You do what's best for you, okay? Don't live for people. Don't try to impress people, because they're definitely not thinking about you. Well, maybe they are, because maybe they are worried about you. If they could sit back and tell you how much guys you've dated in the past year and blah blah blah, they are worried about you. But guess what? You gonna be able one day to show them how it's done. You gonna be like, bloop, I got the ring though. I know what I'm doing though. Okay, don't worry, sis. Just hang in there. And don't give up on finding Mr. Right. We all deserve love, okay? We all deserve the love that we seek. And as I was told by my mama, where there's hope, there's life. So as long as you hang in there, girl, and keep the faith and keep the hope that one day you will find your everything, okay? Your everything. And you'll have your happily ever after. You'll be all good. Don't worry about all these stereotypes, the double standard, because we're women, and society is always going to try to knock us down no matter what we do. So we got to stand strong and keep it pushing, okay? Guys, thanks for watching. I just wanted to do that little talk with you about this topic, because it is rough out here for us sisters, okay? And if you haven't already, please go look in the description box down below and check out my ebook, guys. It's called A Walk from Violence. There is a sale, limited time only. Hopefully you guys will go check it out. I'm asking you to humbly. It's a very good book. It's about defining toxic friendships and relationships that you have been through or you are involved in at this current moment in time, and it just helps you analyze how to walk away, how to get away from a situation like that. It gives you the courage, okay, and it gives you the enlightenment on how you dwelling in situations like that can definitely affect you and your loved ones that are watching you deal with it or go through it as well. And it's called A Walk from Violence, not only to specifically endear violence or domestic violence, but simply meaning violence in a whole, to our mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical well-being as a woman. So go check it out, guys. And again, thanks for watching. God bless.